I regret nothing. I regret nothing. Well, actually, maybe I regret putting this instead of Metatron's will. I regret nothing. I still regret nothing. And this is getting a little bit ridiculous, but, I still regret nothing. Hey everyone, Kaiso here. How long has it been since you heard that, huh? In a recent video. So, school started. Unfortunately, that means I don't have enough time to actually sit down and record. But I did find out that I did have time to record right now, so I'm recording right now. So now you get to hear me ramble. So, as usual with all these videos, I'm going to give you some updates about what's going on in my soccer spirits team. And some other stuff maybe. And then, since it's usually in that format, I'm going to put a little time marker in the video, like saying where you should skip to if you just want to get to the real content of this video. Because, you know, I do ramble a lot. So, first things first, let's head over to the team. So my main team has been changing around a lot. Right now I have a Teddy Ace, because I'll get to that in a minute. Right here, you can see that I did build Lucifer. He has Max Superbs, and he has this stone setup. Unfortunately, I was trying to use him for mid, so that's why his stone setup is like this. But I am thinking of moving him to the back line because, I don't know, I just feel like he'd be better in the back line. And then switching this from Metatron's will because, you know, attacking. Because I realized when I was doing the Barlal match, this passive does not work for the backline. Yeah, I tried to record it when I was doing this, and I did not know about this part, because it says allies currently in the assigned position instead of the entire team. So he's like a worse Jobral. But on the bright side, this passive is pretty good, decreasing the penetration. With all of these changes to my husbandos, they're really, like, getting strange. Zhenlong got changed to recover the entire line's action bar by 20%, which means that he doesn't get 40% action bar if I don't have Ancient Stormer. And unfortunately, I don't have Ancient Stormer right now, so I'm gonna have to change this out with it. Still gonna keep the Earth's Cry though, that's a good stone. Avnor got changed, obviously. This made me really happy because now he gets a support. He finally heals the entire line. Granted, it is still lost HP. Oh wait, yeah. Unfortunately, it is still lost HP, which I still hate. But on the bright side, he revives the entire line, which is great. Great. I love it. And also his passive Evil Genius got bumped up 5% each, so that's even better. Unfortunately, that means I may need to put a pause on Jin Yong's building, because he now does not work with my plan to have an infinite Zhenlong, as shown in one of those videos that I posted before, or an even stronger Avnor, which I posted before. Now I'd have to probably get something like Felix or Jiho Ace. I think it was Jiho Ace. Was it? Yeah, Jiho Ace. Still not running her. Only if I snap and go insane, I'll build her. This is my Lucian build. I'm not sure what I'm doing with this, but I guess it's DR based. This is my Ronald build. I have no regrets about this. With that stone event that was happening, I chose to get Praise Sentence because I just put it on Edward. Because, you know, I had built him, and then the Spirit Recovery is good. So, you know, Dark Thunder Husbando with Reflex and Action Speed. I loves me some action speed. And I also built Leventer, but I kind of took off his stones for somebody else. And that somebody else is... You can't make me regret this, guys. You can't. You just can't make me regret this. I have been crazy enough to re-roll his Ardor slot for a Shaken Thunder Thunder. I mean, I wanted a Dark slot, but, you know, this works too. I'm happy. This is happy. This is making me happy. And yeah, as I mentioned before, I also got Berlau. 35% action speed, ew. But he's another forward passer. He turns into a horse when he fully evolves. Another thing that I would like to tell y'all, which I'm pretty sure I haven't told y'all before, I'm actually, well, it's my PvP team right now, so if you haven't seen it already, you're gonna see it now. I'm gonna build Mono Dark Husbando with Avnor Ace. Right now, this is like a prototype build. I'm gonna have to build Dale, and I'm gonna have to build Blackhorns and Bill. Zabroy I might build later, but he's just a placeholder because I'm saving up my Dimension Stones to get Baltheon. I know I used my Dimension Stones to get Yonghae last time, but right now, my priorities are correct. So I'm just gonna get Baltheon, so that way, you know, it would go full circle, and then I can actually use the Avnor Ace, and it'd be pretty freaking fast with the HP boost. I guess it makes sense. Yeah, I think I'm gonna remain with the 4-man front though, because Jeunese is just, he puts in work. That also means I actually have to build Phil. Now, my experience with Phil in Coliseum of Trials, I hated him because he made it a lot harder for me than it was. But now that he's actually on my team, he's not that bad. Granted, I do need to build him fully, but he's not that bad. Not too bad. I also saved up enough skim points for this one, because I also like the art style. But I've heard Scorn is trash. However, I am still gonna build him because Light Husbando. I'm gonna try and build that too. I'd probably have to build Karad too. He has the same body type as young Barlal. Same artist, huh? 69 Clover. Speaking of snapping, I'm really considering building Duran. I know what I said before, but you know, it started growing onto me. He started growing onto me, especially with, yeah. I would spend the money for this if I had the chance, but I'm broke, so nah. I'll just have to settle for this. I don't really like the. It's not my style, not my thing, but this is more my thing. Or this. I'm gonna go with that one. Considering building Corral. I feel like, it's kind of like the more that these videos continue and the more that I speak right now, I've just been getting so much more tired, you know? But I actually do enjoy doing these videos. I think it's just because I'm in the wrong position. Hold up, I gotta move. Okay, yep, there we go. Yep, wrong position, that's fine. Okay, let's continue. Snowman Furion is hot, don't at me. Spirit Stone wise, I'm thinking of just combining all of these for a Shard of Balmung just because of Furion. But that's just me. That's just me. I don't have enough though. And now we get into the real content of this video, and we're back. Yeah, I just needed to stop the recording just so that I don't lose that portion of the video again, because that's what happened last time I tried to record. Okay, let's continue. So, the real meat of this video, it's gonna be another WDI, because I'm sure you guys missed that. And this video is going to be on Jeunese. I'm pretty sure you pronounce it Jeunese, but I'm gonna call him Jeunese because Jeunese takes too long. Okay. So, we remember the format? We're going to talk about, well, first let's talk about the A skill and why I don't really prefer that. And then we're going to talk about the passive skills, then we're gonna talk about stone builds, and then why I use them. Yeah, let's go. Let's get into it. LGBT, let's get this bread. His ace skill is Soul Piercing Eyes. It increases the reflex by 35 and max HP by 25 with dark players. For mono dark husband though, I don't like this because I prefer action speed over reflex. My favorite stat, I mean reflex is one of my favorite stats, but I prefer action speed a lot more. And because Avnor's Bay. So that's all I really have to say about that, to be honest. I mean, they both give the same amount of HP, I think. Let me check. Hi, Avnor. Oh, no, he gives 8% more HP, but he gives action speed, so even better. But yeah, that's why I prefer not using this ace, but I will use this ace sometimes. Just sometimes, though, when reflex actually somehow matters. So, his active is Soul Drain 3. It steals the action bar and current HP by 25% each of one of the enemies within the position. The AI will usually aim for the goalkeeper. I, however, will aim for whoever has the most action bar sometimes, depending on what I'm trying to do. If, for some reason, somebody's going to get counterattacked, I'll aim for the highest action bar. If the goalkeeper has too much HP, I'll go for the goalkeeper. Simple as that. This used to be a really nice active due to the fact that it was the max HP that he took, but they changed it to current HP and that kind of diminished its utility a lot. But I will say the action bar stealing is nice. However, since it will be his turn, the action bar is pointless on him, not so much the target, but it still steals HP too, so, you know, it kind of balances out, I guess. For auto mode, it's not really that great, because sometimes you'll just aim for the goalkeeper at all times, which is a little annoying, but I'll just deal with it. Because I like him too. I like Jeunese too. His first passive is basically Jacob's, except it's pass effect and critical rate by 15% for 45 minutes with an action. It's a little awkward, but it's more critical rate that we could use on my team, so I appreciate it. I like crit rate. Avnor appreciates the crit rate. The only thing with these passives is that it doesn't affect any players that are unable to move, so you can't like have them, you know, dead and then him using an action to boost their critical rate and pass effect. And not only that, but I think with all the boosts that are happening, the pass effect increase on my passers is rather minimal. It would be like 40% from the passive, 45% from his ace, 30% from his chain, and then, you know, with that 15%, it's just 15% of his base pass, so it's really only an increase in 100. However, like I said, it's crit rate. I like crit rate. Dark Note 2 decreases the defense of the target that's in front of him by 10% and increases the incoming damage by 10% for 10 minutes with a block or a pass. Before, this used to be with just a block. I wasn't there for that, but now it's with a block or a pass, which is great, especially if he's moving first. And since he has quick start, most of the time he'd be moving first on my team, if it wasn't for Parabellum. However, since I am getting Baltheon sometime later, this is a very helpful passive to me, because, well, most of the time he'd be trying to steal, but that's why stones exist. With a block or a pass, damn, I really don't think I'm in the mindset to even talk about this, because I'm just like going all over the damn place. I always do this unscripted. But from what I've experienced, this is a really good passive due to the fact that it increases the damage that they take, and I don't have to run Sealess. But I do think that if you combine Jeunese with Sealess, and Jeunese moves first, it'd be a lot more increase in damage. And before somebody says nerf Jeunese again, let's not, okay? Let's not. Pretty sure he got nerfed 6 times. His last passive is Quick Start. The action bar within the position always starts at 20%, which is a blessing, honestly, because, you know, it grants your front line a lot of the speed that they need, and maybe that's why he doesn't have action speed in his ace, because this, with the, I don't know, I really don't know. But it's quick start. You can't go wrong, right? Unless you actually need to block stuff, or like you need to be counterattacked. But other than that, it's generally a good passive. Granted, I'm pretty sure if it wasn't for the fact that this is only on Kevin and Jeunese, if this was like on a legendary like Garriott or I don't know, I'm just spitballing here, just spitballing. Don't take my word for it. Don't take my word for it. This is my third time trying to record this. I apologize. I'm like trying to collect my thoughts right now. But Jeunese's kit as a whole is mainly trying to get him to move as fast as possible. He's meant for the front line. He can go in mid, however, it's not really recommended, I guess, because it's, you know, just a yellow spot. He has 2 passes that require him to do something. He has quick start, which helps speed up the entire line. And compared to Kevin, now with Kevin, we're just gonna go over there real quick because why not? His passives, he really just needs to stand there. But he's kind of tanky, I guess. I think he's a lot more tanky than Jeunese. A lot more tanky than Jeunese. But with Jeunese, he's just supposed to move a lot. He's not really supposed to attack, but if they have the ball, he will attack if he has enough HP. And stealing the HP of the target helps with him trying to attack, which is why it leads into the stone build that I have with him right now. The stone build that I have right now is Dark HP, Dark Action Speed, Frozen Spear Tip, and Green Steel. Now, I use Jeunese a lot in PvE, which is where he shines the most because he steals HP, and like in PvE there's a lot more puzzle based things that are going on. You have to figure out a weird way to try and figure out how to beat it, and Jeunese helps a lot with it. So Dark HP is because when he gets attacked, it's going to decrease the damage that he takes, and he's really squishy. You know, he's very squishy. Dark Action Speed is just to make him faster. If he happens to have the ball, this increases his counterattack resistance, but the main use is to make him faster. Frozen Spear Tip does double duty at increasing his steal by 30% and increasing the damage that the enemies on the vertical line receive by 10%. So while he's in front of the front line, he'll be increasing the damage by 40% with his passive if the match has gone on long enough, and then the 10% increase with Frozen Spear Tip. However, with all the math that's going on, it's not exactly 50%, it's like a little bit less than that, maybe 30, but it's a lot of increased damage, basically. Green Steel is a stone that I can actually swap out with something else, depending on what I feel like he needs. For instance, I can actually go for Blue Penetration and increase his, I can go for Blue Penetration and increase his action bar recovery, which is helpful. However, that means I have to change out one of these stones for a dark critical damage, because I don't know, I just feel like he needs that sustain, you know? More than likely, it's going to be the action speed that's going to be for a dark critical damage, because at that point he'd be more like counter offensive, kind of like a counter-attacking steel person. But that's my stone build. I can just change this real quick back to the green steel. I love green steel, y'all. And now let's get to spirit stones that he can potentially use, shall we? But then again, since he has the same slots as Avnor, he might be able to do a lot more. Oh, that rhymed. Okay, due to him having dark slots and 1 blue slot, we're gonna look at those first, okay? Okay, firstly, dark slot. Fontus Tissue Sample is if he has a problem with getting counterattacked. However, since he is pretty squishy, it's not really, like, useful on him. If you use Fontus Tissue Sample with a Crystallized Crimson Jade legendary substat, then maybe it would be acceptable, because then he'd be taking a lot less damage. But however, it's just, I don't think it's entirely worth it. Sometimes, if I'm like really bent on using Jeunese, I will put Essence of Greed on him because I kind of need him to penetrate in PvE. And sometimes I'll put Avnor's legendary unique stone onto him because it helps a lot. This is why I don't regret making that, by the way. Maybe Battalion if you really want him to have a little bit of tankiness, you know? Just a little bit though. Battalion, Crystallized Crimson Jade sub. This is only good if you happen to have him on the sides of the front line, like left front or right front. But if you're not doing that, like, if you're not putting him in the SS position, what are you doing, honestly? He kind of needs to be in SS, because that's when his passive shines. And if he's on the sides, it won't hit the goalkeeper. This might be pretty good. Might be pretty good. Especially since he does steal a lot as a leader. But not at high level play, because, you know, reflex and all that crap. I've used this for a little bit because he's been passing a lot. And also because it increases the critical rate. So, it's good as a temporary stone, not so much as a permanent stone. Let's move on to Thunder, shall we? I guess if you wanted to have a lot more damage, you could use this. Obviously I wouldn't because I just wouldn't. Again, if you want to use him as a totem, this is a good stone to have. Like, if you're using a passer as well, like Baltheon, he could have the Ampola Canral, Jeunese could have this. It works together, right? If you really want him to generate spirit as well, this would be a good stone. However, unless the backline has a really high critical resistance, it's not. I already use this, so I can't say anything about it. If you're feeling bored, you can, but it doesn't decrease the damage that he takes, so maybe not. I've been told that this is the best stone that he can use because it increases action speed when he isn't holding the ball, and decreases the incoming damage that he takes when he's not holding the ball. And it also increases his attack power with a steal, so I can understand why. I don't know. I'm just leaving the Calm Icicle on Haru for now, though. So if I get another Calm Icicle, I'll put it on Jeunese and then try that out. But it seems to work pretty well. Just for lulz, let's check out some potential rerolls, shall we? Crystallized Crimson Jade might be good. However, it's better as a substat because it's a bonus 10% DR. EBM is good because then, well, actually no, you'd still have to have him in the SS position. But it's good. Basically, it's what Frozen Spear Tip does, except 2% more. If you're running a 4-man front, maybe this would be good. Because since they're both in the SS position, he'll be affected by it as well. It's pass effect. This quite possibly. I actually like this. I like Garden of Ride Flame now because it actually kind of works. However, it does not grant him additional DR, of course. Whirlwind time! Why not abuse the HP drain, right? Oh, this is pretty nice. And again, this is for, like, if you want him to repeatedly steal. This, Crystallized Crimson Jade, game. Well, not game, but, like, you know, you can use this on mids. Totem! Light time! This is, well, he's gotta be passing a lot, so this would be pretty good, right? If you just want to mess around. And again, with the attacking. And so here we are. That is my take on Jeunese, and it's time to tell y'all why I use him like I do. The reason why I use him like I do is because I actually felt really bad during that Super Boss match video that I did. I think it was Alice, because he was just in the front line minding his own business and he just kept dying a lot. So I just felt really bad for him and I just decided to build him. Not only that, but nobody uses him outside of PvE, and even then, nobody has him built. There's only like one other person that I've seen, and I don't know who that is anymore because I forgot the username. I should have added them on my friends list, but it's just really disappointing. It's kind of the reason why I use Parabellum as my main passer, because nobody or their grandmother uses Jeunese or Parabellum. I'm the only Parabellum user that I know of. But, you know, I appreciate Jeunese's work. He works somehow works better on my team than a Kevin front. I don't know why, but it just works. Especially if it's Jeunese and Chrono. That's spicy. That's good. I like it. Well, I like it, but you know, if that's not your thing, that's not your thing. I'm just saying. I'm just giving y'all some ideas if you don't want to go meta. I realize I'm like a very rogue person when it comes to things that have a meta game. And there y'all have it, y'all. That is my WDI Jeunese. If you liked this video, go ahead, leave a comment or leave a like. And if you want more content like this, I will be trying to post a lot more. I know I keep saying that and I never really do, but I'm trying as hard as I can. Okay? I'm trying. But I am thinking of extending my content to my laptop for other games. However, I'm still trying to get used to using OBS and getting the settings right for that. And I don't know, maybe some other games, other content, other stuff, you know. And I'm sure I'll get the energy back. It's been a while since I've ever had to talk like this, but if you do want to see more content like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I ain't forcing ya, but you know, it's there. Right, so I hope to see you again soon. See you later.